If you film in log, then you've probably heard about the Phantom LUTs, but are they really the best, and can you use them on other cameras footage that don't even film in log like action cameras, or could you use it to match other cameras' log footage? Well, I'll be answering all those questions in this video, as well as sharing my super simple color grading workflow with these LUTs. I have a wide variety of footage that I filmed on my Lumix S5 Mark II, so I can show you just how well these LUTs perform in a variety of different situations. This video is not sponsored in any way. I have about 6 subscribers right now, so that should not come as a surprise to anyone. And also, no one asked me to make this video. I just want to share my personal experience with you when it comes to using these LUTs. LUT stands for lookup table, and it's typically a .cube file that contains a bunch of numbers to transform your image. Essentially, it tells whatever software you're using what to do with all the information in the frame. So basically, if you put in color A, you get out color B. And that's a little oversimplified, but it's enough to get the idea. If you're using log on the Lumix S5 II or any camera, there's a ton of advantages since you're maintaining more information in the footage. This gives you more flexibility in post about how you want your image to look. So if you have a specific look you're going for, or if you're trying to match other cameras, you'll have an easier time getting there since you have a more neutral starting point. That means obviously you have some work to do in post. You have to take that log image and you have to try to make it look good. And there's a lot of ways you can do that, but honestly, using a LUT is one of the fastest and easiest ways to get your footage looking good. And in my experience with these Phantom LUTs, they get you there faster and better than any other LUT that I've tried. A bunch of different types of LUTs exist, from creative LUTs to technical LUTs, and a lot of the ones I've tried just don't look good or require a lot of massaging to make work. The reason for this can be complicated, but LUTs are built to expect a particular color space, and when people are building LUTs to try to make them look good across a variety of camera sensors and lenses, it can be really challenging. That's one of the big advantages to using LUTs like the Phantom LUTs, because they're built specifically to expect Vlog from the Lumix S5 II and other cameras as well if you get those LUTs. The creator of these LUTs is a director and cinematographer named Joel Famularo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that now that I'm editing this video. So Joel, if you're watching, I'm sorry about that. I don't know where Joel came from. I can only imagine spent an immense amount of time working on these. He created several looks, including one that emulates ARRI Alexa mini color science, which in my opinion is some of the best color science out there. There's an ARRI look pack and a film look pack, and there's also a bundle that includes both with 11 total looks, and that's the one that I opted to purchase. For more details, I would suggest looking at his website, which I have linked below. At this point, I'm worried this is sounding a little bit like an ad for these LUTs, but I'm genuinely just impressed with how good they look. And again, this video is not sponsored and no one asked me to make it. I just think that when something is really cool like this, it deserves some recognition and I want to share it. Another way to grade your log footage is to use a color space transform in DaVinci Resolve. And the results from this are pretty good, but I still think the neutral LUT gives me a better Rec. 709 conversion. You could also use the official LUT from Panasonic, but in my experience, I just don't like it as much. Every LUT is set up to expect a particular color space in gamma, and using these LUTs with other footage would definitely be kind of an off-label use, but that's not to say that I haven't tried it. Does it work? The short answer is yes. For example, I wanted to somehow get the colors from my DJI Osmo Pocket to match my Lumix S5 II, and I wanted to use the Phantom LUTs because I like the look so much. So starting in Resolve with the Osmo Pocket footage in D-Cinelike, which is technically Rec. 709, I used the color space transform to take it to Panasonic Vlog, then I used the Phantom LUT, and I think the results were pretty good. Obviously, it's not an exact match, but I got the colors pretty close. I couldn't find a Phantom LUT specific to my Fujifilm X-T4, but there are some instances where I might need it to match my Lumix camera. And with the color space transform in Resolve, I can take it to Panasonic Vlog and then use the Phantom LUTs with very acceptable results. As close to a one-click solution as these LUTs are, there are often a lot of times where I still need to make some tweaks, usually because I made some errors in exposure or white balance. My preferred way to do that is to have a 3-node workflow with exposure and balance on one node, a blank node that I can use for anything else, and then the Phantom LUT. I just try to make sure that the first 2 nodes are mapped to Panasonic Vlog, at least in my case, and then I also add a bit of sharpening for social media after the LUT, and I map that node to Lab CIE. So are these LUTs worth your hard-earned cash? I absolutely think so. They've saved me a lot of time, and I think the results you can get from them are very impressive. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.